Hey, Shalom, Akim, Yahawabashim, Yahawashai, Bahashim, Rachakwadash, Barakatham, Shalom. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom, Barakatham. And there's just going to be a few words to the women, all right? And the upcoming trouble. You know, usually we don't really go on this topic much, myself personally, because of what I'm gonna bring out and explain here, okay? Because one of the big things you see people crying out about is the so-called dating market, the so-called marriage, and we have to say so-called because none of these things are currently in order, because we live in the city of confusion, and that's what it's designed to do. Women don't really understand that they have been hacked and weaponized against men, okay, at their own peril, at their own detriment, and it's all masked through feel-good things, things that produce dopamine, social media likes, food, concerts, infinite credit card limits, seemingly, okay, and then a culture perpetuated by men to just absolve you of all of the consequences from bad decisions. Okay, that's the society that Esau set up. And so really he's poisoned the Kool-Aid, but you can't tell it's poison because he's put it in Kool-Aid. It tastes sweet. But now these things are starting to reach your internal organs, okay? And then that's what all this crying out about on the internet and TikTok videos of women can't find a man and everything is tough. And, now inflation's a problem, which really shouldn't be a problem if you had a man. All right, and let's see what the scriptures say. I will start at 1 Timothy, all right, chapter 2. Okay, it says, actually, I'll start up a little bit. Verse 11, it says, let the woman learn in silence and with all subjection. Okay, that is completely the opposite of what Esau has set up. Now, Apostle Paul is speaking about in the churches, but that should be a rule in general for teaching of any kind of education outside of the home, okay? In all subjection. Now, they'll tell you the complete opposite. They'll tell you that you're the equal with the man. You need to compete with him, but you really cannot compete with the man when it comes to work. This thing that you think you're doing at the corporate office, which are the only jobs I really like, by the way, jobs that are inside and in air conditioning. These men are not really competing with you, okay? They're gate kept by laws, like the protected classes, the civil rights, like if those laws were not on the books, you have no idea how fierce the competition of a real man can be. There would be a lot of undercutting. Men will take other men out, like ruthlessly, physically and in business, to undercut you. That's what patent systems are. That's what lobbying and governments are. That's true competition. You've not seen that from a man. This thing that you go into when you go to work and you clock in and you're chasing the promotion versus this guy versus that. Those are, forget gloves on. These are those giant big mitt gloves where you really can't compete, okay? Now, if you took all of those things out and you just had to compete with a man and with none of these regulations, you would see what I'm talking about, man. Men are ruthless when they have, when they're motivated and they're unrestricted and unregulated. Okay, so that's number one. That's an illusion. You're not on par with them. You cannot compete really with the man. That's a lie, and they told you that to gas you up. It's just like telling a 110-pound, teenager, hey man, you could beat Mike Tyson. All right. Now that may make them feel good. You may get a bunch of people to hype them up, but what does that do to them when they step in the ring? You've basically got them set up, And so that's the number one thing. You're not in subjection. All right. And you've been completely brainwashed to do the opposite, and even think a step further to think that you're better than a man. All right. So that's number one. Okay, and really the standard for a woman is so low. You really just need to obey the man, pick a man, and follow his leadership, obey him, and support him to the best of your ability with enthusiasm. Okay, And whatever you do, make sure the respect is always there. Respect has to always be on. It has to be like breathing. You know, you don't just stop breathing. All right. So that respect has to always be there. But it says further, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over a man, but to be in silence. All right. And so if you even say this to most people, I mean, most people, they can get you fired for saying something like that. You say this at work, you know, like that's the city that we live in. All right. The city of confusion I'm speaking about. Okay. So these things about why you can't find it, you have to realize you live in a completely different universe. He's made an entirely different world, man. That's why the Lord said, I'm not of this world, because it's entirely, everything's upside down. You're never gonna find a good man consistently, and if you do, you don't even have the understanding on how to deal with that man. Okay, you think cheating is him doing one woman for the rest of his life, and the scriptures don't say that. Okay, and do you have the emotional capacity to do that? Well, the women in the ancient world did. Okay, now if this is a longer form video, I would go into the matter between Leah and Rachel, and maybe I'll do that soon, Lord's will, as a kind of a part 2 on this, to show you how order was among the households and with women. Okay, and why this modern day dating thing is incompatible. Dating apps are a joke, man. They're not to be taken seriously. I swipe on them, you know, sometimes, but this is all spoiled, man. You know, it's all unrighteous. It says, verse 13, for Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. So this is why the Most High punished Adam, because Adam had enough sense to know better. He had enough judgment to know better. Okay, but Eve, she was deceived. Okay, when the serpent came to her, okay, and said you should not surely die, she really drank that Kool-Aid. She bought into it. She didn't examine it because it made her feel good in the moment, and that's typical of women today. And the same Gardenian pact, all right, which is what we refer to in Genesis 3rd chapter, where, you know, the serpent comes to Eve and they basically agree to be wicked, okay, and be rebellious. Okay, that thing is still alive today. The Satan, okay, the so-called white infrastructure that's passing all of these policies and setting up all of these family court judges to destroy the man and uplift the woman and encourage bad behavior. Okay, they'll literally encourage a single mother to continue to have babies out of wedlock by giving her money, by exempting her from certain responsibilities where other men would have got jail time or a bunch of fines. Okay, so this place is designed to destroy you. You have to, you know, come to grips with that, man. All right, this modern dating thing it's a trap. Okay, I was speaking to the brother this past week about how you need game, you know, just to talk to a woman nowadays. Now, that shouldn't be necessary in a righteous society, but it is in this society. Why? Because that's what the dating market has been turned into. It's been turned into a game. It's not serious. All right? The things that you take, the things and action that you take to take a life are deadly serious matters. You need judges. You need wisdom. Okay? You need a code, judicial process. If you're talking about taking a life, okay? You're gonna put somebody down for X amount. You need a system for that. But when it comes to the act that produces life, y'all just abandon all of it. Y'all let your kids go off in middle school, high school, you know, public school, and by the time your daughter's graduated high school, she's been with multiple men, and because nobody checks that part, y'all just let that go unfettered. Okay, there's no regulations for it. Women can just have sex and sex and sex. Okay, and there's no repercussions for it. And so, although that doesn't destroy you immediately, it will ensure the destruction of your society generations down the line, because there's no way to undo a bunch of whoredom going on, man. You know, you can't unpop your woman. You know, once she's been with another man, she's been with another man. You know, But that's the deception that's been preached to you by the devil. Okay, so that's the first understanding of it. And it says, verse 15, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. Okay, so that's your ticket out of here. Okay, you need to be attached to a man. Okay, whether you had his kid or you have an agreement with him that he's your wife, he's your woman, not through a legal marriage certificate. Okay, but just a covenant between you and him. Okay, and him between the Most High. Okay, that's your ticket out of here. Okay, you're not gonna pick up a sword and a machete like what's the chick Michonne from Walking Dead. She had the katanas. That you're not gonna be out there when all hell's breaking loose, doing everything a man can do, but I can do it better. Like they tell you with those Nike commercials. No, that's nonsense, man. Okay, that is absolutely nonsense. And they teach you to do the complete opposite, man. They teach you to be passive aggressive in your relationship. They'll teach you things about getting the attitude, withhold sex. You know, they'll tell you to nag him. These are things that they'll tell you to do to get your husband to do what you want him to do, instead of you asking him what y'all should do. You see, you should have married a man that was a leader, that had some kind of direction and path in life. But y'all don't do that. Y'all just go with the first guy that has tattoos or that looks tall, or he's got whatever the trend is, whether it be dreads or whatever them mop head looks you niggas be rocking, you know, like Patrick Mahomes, whatever's trendy. Okay, you see that and then immediately go, you open your legs to this man. Now he's imprinted on you. Okay, so now when you see a real man that's got things going on, you see he's got what you need, but that demon is still on you. There's nothing you can do about it. You've spoiled yourself. Okay, and the only way to come out of that is really to repent sincerely, man. Okay, and have some integrity about you. But y'all get in these relationships and try to shift the man and push the man a certain direction when you really should be following that man. All right. This is Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. All right. And y'all will do this at the expense of your own kids. You literally have children in the mix of this, and y'all do that. You say you can't see your kid this day, you can't see your kid that day. You make up stories about your baby's father to your child. Okay, to paint him in a bad light, not knowing this will destroy your children, man. Okay, and so, like I was reading earlier, you know, in Timothy, that's how you're gonna get delivered, man. That's how you're gonna get out of here, man. All right. Let me see here. There was a couple other things I wanted to jump on real quick. It might be see here. That's kind of the one I wanted. It might be in Ecclesiastes 14 though. Let's see here. See, I'll just go to Ecclesiastes 9. This is verse Ecclesiasticus 9 and verse 6. It says, "Give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou not lose thine inheritance." Okay, and what Esau has done is, in the public school system and these society in general, you know, you even got Sexy Red coming up to these colleges, these high schools, really. All right, you have your little kids watching this, you know, this new culture of twerking and degeneracy. All right, and so what's happened is he's turned most of you out, man. Esau has turned most of you women out. You're harlots and don't realize it, that the behavior you're engaging in, that you've behaved in, even just walking around, you know, when you put on a tight pair of pants, you can tell yourself all you want in your head, I'm just going to Walmart, you know, but you know, when you put on them tight pants and you walk outside, the difference in attention that you're gonna get. Okay, so you got to ask yourself, well, why am I doing that? And what you'll come to find out, most of you are addicted. Most of you have an addiction problem. Okay, you collect experience, you collect attention like experience points in a video game, and you're all trying to get to level 99 to stunt on other women. Okay, and it's all rooted in vanity, because when you get to the top of the ladder of most women, guess what? They still need a man of substance. Okay, being at the top of the pyramid among women still puts you under the man, because at the end of the day, the power of life and death resides with men. Okay, so when you go down this path of disorder, of chaos, oh, I'm gonna just enhance my beauty and get past these women, and you don't really have what it takes in the inside, man. BBLs and thousands of dollars in makeup every year is not enough. Okay, it says, I'm gonna go up to verse 5, "Gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her." All right, going down to verse 6, "Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire." All right, so this is prescriptive to wise men. So when you go beauty first, okay, that attracts the man. But if the man sees you're in a relationship now, you still going to Walmart with these tight pants, you still on Instagram posting suggestive photos, all right, you can make it up in your head all you want that it's suggested, but at the end of the day, you have not abandoned this vain beauty thing when you have a man. And so what's going to happen, you're going to end up with an unwise man, because a wise man is going to see that and just bounce. He's gonna have this wisdom I just read, he's going to have that in him, where it says, again, turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. They know this. Real men know this, man. Okay? And so that may get you in the door, but what's going to happen is he's going to get them a little something and then bounce, man. Okay? And ultimately, a lot of these men, even these so-called high value men, they're going to dry up. They're gonna dry up quick. Okay? Like a flower in the desert, they're just gonna wither away, and there ain't gonna be anywhere to be found. Okay? Because the scriptures tell you, man, that even the mighty men of Babylon are gonna be as women, okay, in those days. And you're gonna really need a man of the Lord. So going back to the point, you're gonna have to humble down, okay, and abandon everything you've learned here in America, because these people do not have it. They'll tell you that because we tell you got to be in order, you can't do things over a man, you got to listen, you got to be submissive, that we're oppressing you. But what they're not telling you is what the alternative is. They're trying to sell this idea of freedom to you, but that freedom is a death sentence. Okay? That freedom is going to get you destroyed. You're going to be strung out with a bunch of dogs, cats, you know, drinking box wine, watching reality TV, becoming morbidly obese, and all of these things push you further and further away from actually getting the man. You know, that's what the alternative is. That's what they're not telling you. Okay. Adultery and cheating is the #1 excuse for a woman to get out of a relationship. But if a woman really loves a man, she's not gonna depart from that man because he lay with another woman. Okay. And this wisdom was had at one point that a woman could serve a man, all right, and that man could have another woman, okay, and it would be a household. That's what a household is. The man is the founding pillar of the household, and then he adds it on, man. And I will do that. I'll go into the story of Jacob and Leah and Rachel, okay, because none of these things in the modern dating market is normal. It's really live live pornography. That's really what they turned it into. You had those weird live chat webcams, these fantasies. They literally turned that from dating apps to all you see is a woman's assets. That's the first thing you see. That's what these dating apps are designed to do. And then they get you to go out, spend money, and maybe you'll get some, maybe you won't. But that's what it's all been turned into. There is no family meeting family anymore. Okay, your father, the father is far removed from giving away the bride. Now that's just an afterthought in marriage now. They do that like your father is hoping that he's even, you know, met the man you're gonna marry. You know, he's flying in out of town somewhere because you wanted to move to New York City to be a career chick, and then he gets an invite in the mail, you know. But back in the day, fathers had to vet these men. Fathers and families would vet each other, man. It would be two families being brought together, but that is completely gone now, man. And see that back then, you could actually marry at a much younger age as a woman when you had that in place. But you can't do that now. I mean, these women are 21, 22 years old and don't know nothing, man. And they're rebellious and can't be told nothing. So you see where this is going, man. All right? And you can repent or don't repent. Either way, we're going to bring the kingdom back as men, okay? So anyway, I'll end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call hello, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachabadah Shalom. Kwame Yasharal.